Once again, on behalf of Inizjamed, I would like to thank Versopolis for this invitation. This is a difficult time, a time of literal and metaphorical borders, leading to lack of trust between us. It is therefore a time in which we need more empathy. We need more art. Speaking up is one way of bringing art to the people. I wouldn't say that speaking up is a duty of art, but it's definitely something that art can do better than many other mediums. Art can touch people, and we are very happy to contribute with four Maltese authors who speak up, because this is what makes them human. We have Emmanuel Mifsud, Priscilla Kassar, Lara Kalleja, and Adrian Grima. They are bringing us their words in English and also in their native Maltese. Last year, our Malta Mediterranean Literature Festival had to be mostly online. This year, we hope to be able to welcome authors and the public from beyond our shores. In the meantime, I let you to our authors, speaking up.
Hello, I am Emmanuel Mifsud from Malta. I shall read two very short protest poems. The first one, titled In the Year 2020, which is a protest against the devastation of our countryside through aggressive construction. And the second one, I Want to Know, the protest against the government and the powers that be that hide truth from us normal, common citizens. In the year 2020. You think you've seen all there is to see because you've watched arable fields turned into roads, valleys overrun with large hotels for the extravagant, villas with swimming pools supplanting the bays and the beaches, the sea becoming land. And your eyes are weary, they long to close, beg to be shielded, because now there are homes morphing into graves. I want to know. I want to know where these roads lead, exactly what's there when you turn round the corner. I want to know, once you've switched off the lights, how to pry the door you closed, then locked behind you. I came here to seek what you have concealed, to lay bare what you have covered. Mine is the story, all mine, and I must know it. Yes, I want to know. The same two poems in Maltese, and may I also thank my translator, Ruth Ward. Fis-sena 2020 sirt taħseb li rajt kull ma kellek tara għax issa rajt eliqi jsiru toroq, widien lukandi kbar għas-sinjuruni, bajjiet u xtut skożvilel bil-pixxini, il-baħar isir art u għajnejk ejjew u jridu jfis jingħalqu jitattew għax rajt ukoll id-djar isiru oqbra. Irrid naf il-fejn jagħtu dawn it-toroq, x'hemm eżatt malli ddur mal-kantuniera, irrid naf malli tfejt lid-dawl kif nasal ħdejn il-bieb li għalaqt u sakkart sewwa, ersaqt l-hawn ħalli nfittex dak li ħbejtli, ħalli nikxef dak li start, dak li attejtli. L-istorja hija tiegħi kollha tiegħi, allura irrid nafa, irrid nafa. Thank you.
Hello, so I am Priscilla Kassar, and I shall be reading a poem which I entered for the Trócaire Poetry Ireland Poetry Competition 2020, the theme of which was Standing Her Ground. The poem is titled Amal, and I shall first be reading it in English, the language in which it was originally written in, and then I shall read it in my mother tongue, Maltese. Amal. She should be crushing olives with calloused feet, inebriated by the heat of the day, in the shade of the primordial olive rose, whispering ancestral songs, carried on the wings of a flirting breeze. She should be passing her fingers through her daughter's curly hair, narrating stories of the nights once spent sleeping under the orange groves, escaping the shooting and looting under a sky tattooed with Al-Nakba. There were hearts crushed tightly, cries of loss and homeland, orange trees that were no more. She should be weaving life's troughs and bows, with grace riding the waves of womanhood, revered in the eyes of her beloved. And yet she is here, shouting at the perverse soldier hitting her unarmed man, heart still needed to keep oozing oil and orange juice, to keep the wick alive. And she will be here tomorrow, till whenever it takes. She is here praying that her eldest son, inshallah, is still breathing over the separation wall. There is one too many in the world, surviving on her memorized fragrance, on the smell of garlic on her fingers the day she last reached out to him. She could be Maysoon, Riham, Wadha, Ibtisam, Salma, Amal. Amal standing her ground. Amal, hope. And now the Maltese version. Għandha tkun qed taffeċ iż-żebbuġ b'saqajn kollha kallijiet, sturduta bis-sħana tal-jum, għad-del tar-ringieli primordjali taż-żebbuġ, ifesfsu kanzunetti tal-antenati li jittajru fuq ġwiena ħiż-żiffa mqarba. Għandha tkun qed tgħaddi subajja mix-xar innuklat ta' binta, tirrakkonta stejjer tal-iljieli li darba qattaw riqdin taħt l-imsaġar tal-larinġ, jaħarbu mill-isparar u mis-sakkeġġi taħt sema tatwat bal-Nakba. Kien hemm qlub imfarka, għajjat ta' telf u patrija, siġar tal-larinġ li m'għadhomx hemm aktar. Għandha tkun qed tinseċ il-ħwat u l-pruwi tal-ħajja, bil-grazzja rigba mwieċ il-femminilità, meqjuma f'għajnejn il-maħbub tagħha. Iżdissa għada hawn tajjat mas-suldat pervers isawwat lir-raġel tagħha mhux armat. Qalba għada maġuna biex jibqa' jiskula ż-żejt u l-meraq tal-larinġ biex iżomm il-fjamma ħajja. U għada se tibqa' hawn sakemm hemm bżonn. Edha hawn titlob li bina l-kbir inxallah għadu jieħu nnifs minn wara l-ħajt tal-firda. Hemm wisq minnhom fid-dinja. Jgħix fuq il-fragranza immemorizzata tagħha, fuq ir-riħa tat-tewm fuq subajja l-aħħar ġurnata li messitu. Setet kienet Maysoon, Riham, Wadha, Ibtisam, Salma, Amal. Amal tieqaf għal dak li hu tagħha. Amal tama. Thank you very much.
Jamal is 33 years old. His dark skin adamant to the scorching sun. With his big muscular body, his labor comparable to that of 3 workers. He earns the least wage imaginable. But Jamal works from dusk to dawn, because work makes him forget. Forget his beautiful wife, Fatima, left back home. Forget all the abuse he suffered in Libya, of stones thrown at him, of merchants mercilessly selling them as if they were a crate of tomatoes. When he did manage to escape from Libya, he went back to Eritrea, back to Fatima. He then escaped again, this time taking his 10-year-old son with him, That's how desperate the situation was. Jamal wants to forget the blue lips of his lifeless son he had in his arms, on a boat heading to nowhere, constantly swaying in the open cold sea. He wanted to forget Fatima's resentment, a resentment that was never verbalized, but still he felt it pounding on his chest. Jamal is flesh and bone. Jamal earns €4.70 per hour. Concrete is sand, gravel and stone. Concrete's value is that of €3,000 per cubic meter. I would like to tell you that Jamal finally made it to Germany, along with Fatima and his 2 other children. I would like to tell you that Jamal's traumas and big losses were just bad memories that marked his way to be a stronger man who managed to be happy. But on a one cold Thursday morning, they found Jamal hanged on one of the many carob trees of a field in Berzabuja. They found him facing a rising sun. All the while, the grey compass, which was carefully assembled by Jamal, has been bought with hundreds of thousands of euros from the same people who hated all his being, with a heart that never offered him kindness. Kienet ħelwa din ir-relazzjoni bejn ix-xufier u Fransina. Ix-xufier kien jiġborha dejjem mill-istess kantuniera fejn kienet toqgħod. Alla volja r-regoli tax-xufiera kienu saru iktar stretti dal-aħħar. Ix-xufier li ismu ma nafux kien jagħmel eċċezzjoni għal Fransina. Kien jieħu dawrhom it-triq prinċipali u jerġa' jdur għal triq oħra biex finalment jiġbor il-Fransina. Id-dar tagħha kienet antika, ċkejkna, ħadha ma tħax, ma xorta waħda sabiħa.
This is a poem inspired by the story that Anna, the daughter of the warlord Ratko Mladic, took her own life when she heard what her father was up to in Bosnia, in the Balkans War. When night comes to an end, what will you do when the night comes to an end once more and dawn breaks? How will you restrain the fire within you, consuming all? Who will gather up the poisoned ashes before they choke you off? And who will drive away the reek of a night brewing with hatred? When you go back home in daytime, they'll sing your praises, hero of the skewed nation you fathered with your lot. But someone, sometime, is bound to ask, and ask again, and you'll deny, and shake your baffled head, and slide back into the poisoned night that brewed within you and possessed you. What will you do when the formaldehyde has gnawed away your inside? While again, for a while at least, dawn breaks. This is a translation of a poem which I originally wrote in Maltese. And the English version is by Albert Gatt. Here's the original Maltese version. X'se tagħmel meta l-lejl jintemm? X'se tagħmel meta l-lejl jintemm għal darb'oħra u terġa' tfittx id-dija? Kif se trażnu n-nar qed jaħraq kull ma jsib ġo fik? Min se jiġbor l-irmiet ivvalenat qabel ma jifgalek nifsejk għal kollox? U min se jkeċċi l-intiena tal-lejl jiffermenta fil-mibeda? Meta terġa' lura d-dar binar se jifirħu bik, l-eroj tal-patrija skwilibrata li ħloqtu int u sħabek. Imma xi ħadd xi darba se jsaqsi u jerġa' jsaqsi u int se tiċħad u xenger rasek strumblata u tiżżerżaq lura fil-lejl ivvalenat li ħakimlek ruħek iffermentata. X'se tagħmel meta il-formalina tieklok għal kollox minn ġewwa waqt li tfittx imqara l-ftit id-dija? Thank you for watching and stay safe.